Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, May 9th. I'm Michael Taylor and it's great to be here. All right, I got a real quick, women, you have to pay attention for a second. But guys, right here, guys, Mother's Day is on Sunday. If you haven't ordered your present yet, you can still do it on Amazon, like next day, right? Make sure you get this, go get a card now. Don't be scrambling that. Just a little public service announcement from me to you. Mother's Day is coming up. Don't be that guy running into CVS on Sunday morning trying to find the present. All right, there we go, real quick. All right, on our show today, let's get right to the actual show and everything like that. We have Boomers going to be here. They're going to be talking about Laguna Woods that's coming up in June, and a big dance party they have coming up in May. All sorts of great fun, great bands, all sorts of interesting stuff, and there's an early bird deadline for the Woodstock event, so make sure you get that information. Make sure you get your tickets earlier so you can join in all the fun for a good cost as well. And then later in the program, Sports Corner with Cole Young, wrapping up all this week's sports, NBA playoffs, and much, much more. We'll be talking to Cole in just a little. Cole will be here talking to us in just a little bit. All right, hey, we want to give you some really cool information here. I want to keep you informed about Ting. There it is, Ting. Golden Rain Foundation and Ting Internet are leading provider of fiber internet for homes and businesses. They are proud to announce that they are in a contract for a new high-speed fiber network here in Laguna Woods Village. It's officially signed on Wednesday, April 30th. Construction is going to start next month, and once it's complete, the network will deliver speeds of up to 2 gigabytes per second, allowing an entire household of Wi-Fi devices to connect seamlessly. So Ting is going to be our new provider, and that work is going to be starting next month. All right, let's take a quick check of our weather. We have a very warm day today and even warmer on Saturday. So it's going to be a very warm, even hot, some might say, weekend, especially on Saturday, up to 92 degrees. Can you believe that? Just a little preview of what's coming for the summer, even though we're still in a little bit of spring here. Then we get to start to cool off a little bit. The high pressure and the heat is going to just lighten up just a little bit on Sunday. And then we have really back to regular, cooler, even below average temperatures on Monday and Tuesday. So there you go. A little sneak peek of summer for this weekend, better than last weekend when it was raining on us. All right, let's take a look at our sunrise, sunset. Beautiful picture here from the ferry over on Balboa Island. Thank you, Mark Weiss, for bringing this one to us. Sunrise this morning was 5:54. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:40. If you have a picture you'd like to send us, we'd love to see it. If you're out and about town and riding the ferry, you're just going around here in Laguna Woods, pets, places, vacation spots, whatever you do, take that picture and send it to us. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise, sunset segment. All right, we got one meeting to tell you about. Then when we come back, we'll be talking to the folks, Diane McQuigg from the Boomers Club. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Annette, owner of Window Jazz. We're here in Laguna Woods, replacing old windows with new, energy-efficient, state-of-the-art products. We're here with our installation team, upgrading old windows to make this property feel new and beautiful. New replacement windows and doors will make a major impact on the appearance of this home. They'll increase the property value and save homeowners money by reducing energy costs while providing a comfortable indoor climate. Let Window Jazz do the same for you. Call us today for a free consultation.
Welcome to LA Carpet, Kitchen, Bath, and more. Your all-in-one solution for your home remodeling needs.
From kitchens to baths, carpets to hardwood, we help shape every corner of your home.
Every home has a unique story. At LA Carpet, we collaborate with you, ensuring your story unfolds just the way you envision, with complete price transparency from start to finish. Contact us today for a complimentary in-home estimate. Your dream home is just one phone call away.
These aren't my usual glasses, but this is not a usual interview. It's the folks from Boomers Club, and they're always a wild time. I can't do this much longer. Okay, here we go. Diane McQuigg.
I'm with you. Yeah. It's like, whoa. Lots of fun, though.
Thanks for joining us, Diane.
Sure, of course.
And it's going to be Woodstock. Now, these weren't available at the original Woodstock, but you guys might have them at your event.
We might. You never know what we're going to have there, that's for sure.
Well, thanks for coming in. It's a crazy busy time of year for you because you guys have the Woodstock event coming up, and it's your key event. It is your signature event that you guys do every year, right? Tell us a little about maybe the origin of it, and tell us a little bit about what you guys have going on this year.
Well, it's been going on, I didn't even know when it started, but it's been going on for quite a few years. The Boomers have always hosted it. It gets a little bit better every year. We, figure out the mistakes that we made in the past year. We correct them. We get more volunteers. We've got a great lineup of bands this year. In fact, my sound technician, when I sent him the list of bands, he's like, wow.
Okay.
I was like,
It's going to be a day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when does the planning start? Do you guys, like the day after? It's going to be on the 28th this year, so the 29th, you guys start, okay, who's coming back next year? What are we going to do? How are we going to make it better?
We actually take about a month off.
Okay. Yeah, quite the break.
Right. Yeah, we really start digging into it in about January. We'll have the bands hired probably this fall for next year.
Okay, I'm going to run through the hit list here real quick.
Sure.
So Woodstock is coming up. It's going to be on Saturday, June 28th. Clubhouse 2, but it's not going to be limited to Clubhouse 2. It's going to be all over the place. You're going to have food vendors, you're going to have all sorts of stuff. So it's food and merchandise vendors. There'll be shuttle buses available because it is going to be crowded. Parking around the area is going to be kind of packed and overflowing pretty quick, right? Early bird prices. Are we still in early bird days of buying the tickets?
We are.
Okay,
Until June 14th, they're $25.
Okay, $25. But then after that, after June 14th, we're talking about $30 a ticket, which isn't terrible, but get those tickets in early. There's a phone number on the screen there for you guys and an email, and then there's the Boomers Club, of course, website as well. The Trip, we'll talk these individually in a second, but the Trip, Family Style, Funk Station, Absolute Band, and the 1969 Tribute Band. Let's talk about all of these guys. Why each these? Because they're not all 60s tribute bands, right? They're not all Woodstock guys.
They're
right?
not. Yeah, I think the thought kind of behind that is like 60s music is great, lots of fun, but can you do 7 hours of it? I don't know. So what I've told the bands is basically, you don't need to be all 60s. If you want to throw in a couple of songs, all except the 1969 tribute band, they're going to do all
That's
60s.
a solid.
That's a solid, they're going to do all 60s, yeah. But the other bands, the Trip, one of the best known bands around, Family Style, again, one of the best known bands around. Funk Station, we just had at our dance last month.
Right.
So much fun. I forget how much I love these guys until I see them and I'm like, I love these guys. And then Absolute was a surprise for us a couple of years ago. Absolutely, like one of the best bands, hands down. They're about a 10-piece band. They have the horn section, everything. Awesome.
Okay.
They're very good.
When you put something together like this, and then you have the opportunity to see it all happen, like last year, and you're like, "Oh man, that was great." What do you get from that? Like, because it's not you're not just going there to enjoy it. You've put this on. You've done this for a while.
Just seeing people have fun, just to see people like up there dancing and having fun, and socializing with their friends, it just makes me really, really happy. And everybody in the club. That's what we're all here to have fun. The club is about having fun, and if we're not having fun, then we shouldn't do it.
How many people have that come up to you that have actually went to Woodstock? I imagine there's one, if you've met a few over the years, and said, I'm liking this a little better. At least there's food and there's bathrooms.
Yeah, a couple, not that many, but yeah, there are a couple of people that's like, I was at the original Woodstock. Yeah.
And that's got to be kind of a trippy thing too, right? To think about like here they are celebrating this Woodstock thing. However many decades later now we are.
Yeah, I know, because it was for that generation. It was everything.
It was like the height of the hippie movement, or
right.
Out there in some meadow out in New York,
in the rain and the mud.
In the rain and the mud. So let's talk about the food vendors you're going to have out there. There's going to be a plethora of food opportunities for you. Who are some of your favorites you're bringing back?
Well, actually, we got Cousins Lobster this year.
Oh, wow.
So if you like those lobster rolls,
I love lobster rolls.
I know, they're so good.
I love them.
A couple of them we're working with. Laguna Cafe will be there. Tony will be there from the 19. And then we have a couple of others that we're still kind of working on contracts with those folks. So plenty of good food to eat.
Okay, plenty of good food, kind of good music. Are there going to be vendors out there too selling like tie-dye shirts and things like that?
All that, yes. Yeah, we have people that are, we tried as a committee when we put together the vendors, we tried to do a variety. Like you don't want everybody selling jewelry.
Right.
So we've got some folks that are selling maybe clothes, purses, things like that. So we have a variety.
And flashing little Little things
Yeah,
like
these
this.
these are for the these are for the dance.
All right, let's transition then. Let's go.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's.
Okay.
What my next question was going to be: the May dance is coming up, and what do we got going on there?
The May
these weird
dance-
horse whips.
Wait, and the sparkly rings.
Sparkly
You
rings,
can
too.
expect all this swag when you come to the May dance, May 17th.
Okay.
Anthem Road is the band. And if you've never seen them, Valerie, the lead singer, extremely dynamic.
Okay.
Extremely dynamic.
It is kind of a nod to anthem rock kind of songs, big kind of rock songs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, basically lots and lots of rock songs.
Okay, and that's coming up on May 17th, Saturday, and people are also welcome to dance.
Oh yeah, that's
It
what
is
it's
the
all
dance.
about. That's what it's all about. And you know, the bands are so surprised when they come to our dances because I tell them beforehand, we're a lively bunch. We like to dance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then after I always hear, oh, you said it was a lively bunch, but I never realized.
You know, I think that's fun for not only the folks who attend, but also for the band. When they see an enthusiastic crowd, they kind of jump into it and they enjoy it too a little bit more. So they feed off each other a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so what made you guys choose Anthem Road? Had you seen them before? Have they performed here? Have they?
You know, they haven't. I found them, I think it was, I usually look at like Spaghettini's, what's the one, Campus Jacks, Stillwater. So I kind of look at who's playing in those places. Them I saw, I was like, when I was looking at, I think, Campus Jacks, and I was like, this was last year. I was like, well, that's interesting. So I looked at their video, you know, saw how dynamic Valerie was, and I said, we've got to have them. We've got to have them. So now they're playing a lot more locally, but they're going to be here May 17th, and come out and see them.
For folks who haven't experienced the Boomers Club in general, and you guys do these dances, you do the music, what is the thing that brings you all together besides, I guess, bringing the Boomers? Is it more the social side of things? Is it nostalgia? Is it, because, you know, Boomers has that kind of nostalgic feel to it.
You know, I think it's the dancing and the camaraderie. You know, people come to the dance, and it could be a couple, you can be single, it doesn't matter, because everybody dances no matter what song, you know, couples, no whatever, we have a great time. And that's, you know, that's what the board of the Boomers, that's what we live for, is to make sure that we all have a good time.
You're a VP on the board these days, but what brought you to the Boomers in the first place? When did you first discover them and find out, hey, this is my kind of group?
When I moved in 2021, I wanted to find something to do, right? So I saw the Boomers website, and they were looking for volunteers. So I was like, oh, that sounds good. You know, Boomers, I'm a Boomer. So I went, and I was the person that went up and down the ramp, like, you know, handing out wristbands and those kind of things. So that was my first job with the Boomers.
Okay.
And then, you know, done several things, ended up in entertainment, which I love. I love that.
Have you developed friendships and connections? I think that's one of the things that I think with all of these clubs that here in the village is an important part of, like, this is my friend group. These are my people in this world now. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The people that come, you know, we have regulars that come. We have people that sit, you know, at the same tables. But then we have people that, you know, like at my table, the table that I sit at, not my table. You know, it's just like whoever comes. It's like if I have an empty seat, sit down. You know, it's all about meeting people and making new friends.
Okay. And for Anthem Road, are they a touring group? I mean, they kind of go everywhere. Do they do big other events all over the country, or are they more of a local group? Do you know?
They're more local. They're out of LA, so they do a lot of like LA,
A lot of SoCal stuff.
OC, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, San Diego.
And they look like from the pictures, they look like they're ready to rock. Is this a little bit on the heavier rock anthem side than you guys usually do, or is it?
You know, it's kind of hard to say because I haven't looked at their song list yet.
Okay.
So, you know, looking at their videos, they do a little bit of, you know, hard rock. Not too hard. I mean, it'll be great for us, but all danceable music. We always make sure that it's danceable.
There we
music.
go. That's the important part. All right.
Yep.
Diane McQuigg, thank you so much for coming up. We got the May 17th Anthem Road is going to be the dance for May. And then, of course, Boomers. We got the Laguna Woodstock coming up in June. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to say goodbye. I got to turn all my fun stuff on. My light went off. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. All right, folks. Diane, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more. Is this light on? Here we go.
Attention all club organizers, party planners, and those who simply love to gather and celebrate life's special moments. Are you tired of the hassle of cooking for your events? Looking for a convenient and delicious solution? Introducing our easy and convenient catering trays, perfect for groups of any size from 35 to 90. Need a larger space to host your event? Look no further than our restaurant's banquet room, the perfect venue for your next gathering. Call us today to place your catering order or reserve our banquet room for your next event. Create memories and traditions with Polly's Pies.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and there's been a lot of action this week, so I'll get right into it. Starting with the NBA, round 2 of the playoffs began on Sunday. The Indiana Pacers and Cleveland Cavaliers got the second round action underway, and the result was somewhat of a shock. The dynamic Indiana point guard Tyrese Halliburton scored 22 points, including a go-ahead three-pointer in the fourth quarter, had 13 assists, and made crucial defensive plays that propelled the Pacers to a 121-112 victory over the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The Cavs were sitting with a 102-101 lead, but after Halliburton's three-point shot to take the lead, the Pacers went on a 15-4 run to seal the victory. In Game 2, Halliburton and the Pacers did it again. Halliburton made a three-pointer with just 1.1 seconds left in the game this time, as the Pacers scored the final 8 points in just 48 seconds to stun the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers 120-119 on Tuesday, taking a 2-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Halliburton scored 11 of his 19 points in the final 12 minutes. Game 3 is an absolutely must-win for Cleveland, and that game will tip off today at 4:30 p.m., and Game 4 will be Sunday at 5 p.m. The other half of the Eastern Conference semis between the Boston Celtics and New York Knicks got off to an electric start as well. Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby each scored 29 points before Mikal Bridges stole the ball from Jaylen Brown with just a second left in overtime, and the Knicks stunned Boston 108-105 in Game 1 of their series on Monday night. Karl Anthony Towns added 14 points and 13 rebounds for New York. The Knicks lost all 4 games against the Celtics during the regular season and trailed by as much as 20 points in the second half of this game. Derek White had 19 points and 11 rebounds, and Jason Tatum had 23 points for Boston, but Tatum could not get the potential game-winning shots to fall late in the game. Boston had an astounding NBA playoff record 45 missed three-point shots, which all but sealed their loss. With just over 14 minutes left to play in Game 2, the Celtics were up 73-53 over the Knicks. Then, history repeated itself. Mikal Bridges scored all of his 14 points in the fourth quarter before making his second straight game-clinching steal, and the Knicks overcame another 20-point deficit to beat Boston 91-90 and take an absolutely shocking 2-0 lead. The must-win Game 3 of this series will be tomorrow at 12:30, with Game 4 on Monday at 4:30. Over in the Western Conference, Nikola Jokic yet again proved why he is on track to be one of the greatest players in NBA history, as he finished Game 1 with 42 points and 22 rebounds for the Denver Nuggets. However, Aaron Gordon proved to be the hero in this game. Gordon hit a three-pointer with 2.8 seconds remaining, giving the Nuggets a stunning 121-119 comeback win over the top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder on Monday night. Game 2 will win a lot different for both teams, though. Just 2 nights after blowing a double-digit lead in the loss to the Nuggets, the Thunder cruised to a 149-106 rout in Wednesday's Game 2 to become the first home team to earn a win in this round of the playoffs. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way for OKC, finishing with 34 points and 8 assists, shooting 11 of 13 from the floor and 11 of 11 from the free throw line. Game 3 will be tonight at 7, and Game 4 will be on Sunday at 12:30. Lastly, in the Western Conference, the Golden State Warriors and Minnesota Timberwolves began their series on Tuesday. For the Warriors, it looked like it might be a worst-case scenario. Steph Curry strained his hamstring early in the game, but his teammates backed him up. Jimmy Butler had 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, and Draymond Green had 4 first-half threes on his way to 18 points as the Warriors cruised to a 99-88 win. Game 2 of that series was last night, and Game 3 will be tomorrow at 5:30, followed by Game 4 on Monday at 7. Over on the ice, things are equally as exciting as they are in the NBA, if not more so. And a lot of it has to do with one single player. Before Round 2 began, Round 1 ended with a bang. On Saturday, Mikko Rantanen had a hat trick and an assist, and the Dallas Stars rallied with 4 straight goals in the third period to eliminate the Colorado Avalanche with a 4-2 win in Game 7. Rantanen is the first player in NHL history to score a hat trick in the third period of a Game 7, and the first to record multiple 4-point periods in a single postseason, after also achieving this feat with a goal and 3 assists in the second period of Game 6. Not only that, but he did it all against his former team. Entering this season, Rantanen was in the final year of his contract with the Colorado Avalanche, where he won a Stanley Cup back in the 2021-2022 season. Then, in January of this year, a blockbuster trade occurred, and Mikko Rantanen was being shipped to the Carolina Hurricanes. This was a devastating blow to the Avalanche fans and organization, and the move sent waves throughout the sports world. After the trade, the Hurricanes attempted to extend Rantanen, reportedly offering a franchise record contract worth at least $100 million. He was non-committal though with Carolina, and with the trade deadline approaching, the Canes decided that it was either lose him in free agency or at least get something in return for a trade. So, on the afternoon of March 7th, the trade deadline, Rantanen was traded to the Dallas Stars after playing just 13 games for Carolina. Fast forward to this past weekend, and he set new NHL records against the team he spent 10 seasons with throughout his career. And the Stars have advanced to round 2, eliminating the Avs, and have a solid shot at winning their second ever Stanley Cup. In round 2, they're facing off with the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets got to this point with a nail-biter Game 7 win of their own over the St. Louis Blues, when Adam Lowry scored at 16:10 of the second overtime for the Winnipeg Jets, who rallied for a 4-3 win in Game 7 on Sunday. Lowry's overtime goal came after the Jets scored twice in the final 2 minutes of regulation to tie the game. Winnipeg and Dallas began their series with Game 1 on Wednesday. I can't believe I'm saying this again, but Mikko Rantanen scored a natural hat trick in the second period, helping the Dallas Stars to a 3-2 win against the Winnipeg Jets. Rantanen became the first player in Stanley Cup playoffs history with multiple 3-game periods in the same postseason. The forward has 14 points, consisting of 8 goals and 6 assists, in his past 4 games. He has contributed on 12 straight Dallas goals, which marks the longest streak by a player in Stanley Cup playoffs history. Game 2 of this series will be tonight at 6:30, so let's see if he can keep the streak rolling. The other Western Conference series between the Vegas Golden Knights and Edmonton Oilers began on Tuesday. Leon Draisaitl scored in the third period, Connor McDavid had 2 assists, and Calvin Pickard made 15 saves for the Oilers. Then, Zach Hyman scored the go-ahead goal late in the third period for Edmonton, who rallied for a 4-2 victory against the Knights in Game 1 on Tuesday. Game 2 was last night, and Game 3 will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. In the Eastern Conference, the Toronto Maple Leafs and reigning champion Florida Panthers got the action started on Monday night. William Nylander had 2 goals and an assist in the first period, and the Leafs very narrowly held off the Panthers for a 5-4 win in Game 1. Towards the end of the third period, the Panthers pulled their goalie and fired shots until the final horn, but Toronto's defense was able to hang on to secure the win. Game 2 was weirdly very similar, as Mitch Marner broke the tie at 5:50 of the third period, and the Maple Leafs held off the Florida Panthers 4-3 in Game 2, taking a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 of this series will be today at 4. Lastly, the Carolina Hurricanes and Washington Capitals began their series on Tuesday. And yet again, we got another overtime game. Jacob Slavin scored at 3:06 of overtime, giving the Hurricanes a 2-1 win against the Capitals in Game 1. Game 2 was last night, and Game 3 will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. I didn't think it would take me this long into the year to say this, but Scottie Scheffler has officially won his first PGA event of the year. Not only that, but he did it in absolutely dominant fashion. Scheffler matched the PGA Tour's 72-hole scoring record on Sunday, finishing at 253 and running away with an 8-shot victory at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson in his hometown. The top-ranked player, who finished with a 63 to finish at an absurd 31 under par, tied the mark set by Justin Thomas in 2017 and Ludwig Åberg at the RSM Classic in 2023. Like I said, it was the first victory this year for Scheffler after he won a total of 10 times before May in the previous 3 years combined, including 2 Masters victories. Scheffler will skip the tournament this weekend, but will return for the PGA Championship in just 2 weeks. Last week, I previewed the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. A day full of rain caused the track at Churchill Downs to be full of thick mud, which made for a pretty exciting race. With the 4th best odds, Sovereignty crossed the finish line first with a time of 2:02.31. Journalism, the horse with the best odds, came in a close second place. As first overall winner, Sovereignty took home a whopping $3.1 million. As always, a major NFL story broke again this week to take over the headlines. The Cowboys and Pittsburgh Steelers agreed to a trade Wednesday that will send wide receiver George Pickens to Dallas for a 2026 third-round pick. The Cowboys will also send a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Steelers and get back a 27 6th-round pick. Pickens, who is just 24 and entering into the final year of his rookie contract, had 59 catches for 900 yards and 3 touchdowns last season. He posted at least 50 receptions, 800 yards, and 3 touchdowns in each of his first 3 seasons with the Steelers. With off-season workouts and mini camps on the horizon, I expect more NFL stories to start coming out in the coming months. We're getting our first taste of summer weather this weekend, so if you aren't spending time in the sun, be sure to enjoy all the basketball, hockey, baseball, golf, and more that this weekend has to offer. As always, thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.
Hey, let's talk about our movies for today and tomorrow. We got some good ones lined up. Maybe you never heard of these ones, some little outsiders, but there's still some great ones, and I think there's some interesting ones here. Rabbit Proof Fence. This is really interesting to me. This one sounds like a wild one. It stars Molly Craig. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's a coming-of-age movie. In 1931, 3 half-white, half-Aboriginal girls escape after being plucked from their houses to be trained as domestic staff and set on a journey across the outback. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Sounds like a fascinating idea and concept for a movie. Definitely want to see that one. And then the documentary on Saturday, it's Merkel. She needs no other introduction. Angela Merkel, the former Chancellor of Germany. She is driven by the extensive archival footage and interviews with those who know her. This is an astonishing story of how a triple outsider, a woman, a scientist, and an East German became the de facto leader of the free world, told for the first time for an international audience. That's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Merkel, amazing story. Definitely a good watch. We'll see that one on Saturday. Let's take a check on our temperatures. If you want to get in and away from the heat on Saturday and Friday, today, it's going to be a good idea to get away from that and maybe see one of those movies. We're going to have a warm one today. Going to be high 80s. We're going to top out there today, and then 90s on Saturday. 92 is going to be our high. Then we get a little bit cooler as we head into Sunday, and then a lot cooler, about a 20, almost 20 degree drop off, more than that from Saturday to Monday. So nice cooler temperatures back with us on Monday. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Tomorrow on the program, we are going to be welcoming AmeriCare, Beach Cities, and the India Club. So stay tuned for that one. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Like I said, I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.